I would never let a nigga get with you. Hey, let's see who got an issue. In other words, say no trust issues. Anyway, what's up, Mafia? It's your girl, Cherry Marie, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm coming back with part 2. I just came on to introduce this video and all that good stuff. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Instagram at _Cherry and DM me if you guys need like support or anything like that, or you're in like a situation where you need guidance or advice, or just somebody unbiased to talk to. And yeah, because I know sometimes it'd be hard to talk to your friends and family and people who actually know you when you're in a situation like this, because they be like, a lot of people be so judgmental. Like, I know a lot of people say in situations like this, they be like, she like to get abused, or she like to get hit on, like she like that toxic shit and shit like that. Granted, maybe some people like toxic shit, and maybe, you know, we could all admit we've been toxic at a time. You know, love yourself first and put yourself first, and you gotta know that your life matters. Like, my videos are for me trying to help people out, because everybody go through stuff. Like, I don't find domestic violence funny. I don't find, you know, stuff like this funny or comical or anything like that. And a lot of people like to, you know, look from the outside looking in and place judgment and stuff like that, and, you know, judge people for staying in a situation like this. But you really don't understand until it's you. Like, I done been there, done that. I'm not doing it again. I was young and dumb and just unexperienced. I ain't gonna say dumb. I was young and unexperienced, and I really didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know what red flags to look for and such. But yeah, so let's get back into part 2 where I left off at. Deuces. Okay. My camera's finna die, so I'm gonna have to like hurry up this part, and then I'm gonna go to the next part. But where I left off, he had dragged me, I'm sorry, I'm country, but he had dragged me, like he had beat me up. We was in somebody else's room, like his people room, and he didn't like what I said or something, and he ended up like dragging me out the room, and like I was on the ground, and he was like pulling me by my hair and my body, and then he beat my ass so fucking bad. Like, it was really, really bad, y'all. Like, at one point in time in my life, like, and if I think too deep on it, like, I would just cry out for that girl I was at that time, because I don't feel like anybody deserved that. Like, I don't feel like any woman deserved that. I don't feel like anybody deserved that treatment, and especially like you giving this person your last, your everything. He done took my soul, he done took my dignity, he done took everything. Like, it was very scary. And yeah, so that's like how the beginning of our relationship was. We ended up, like, I ended up getting like a job, a good paying job, thank God, and I was able to put us in an apartment. And here's the thing, y'all, I was so easily manipulated and abused. Like, I done messed up my credit score, I done messed up my rental history, because everything that we got was in my name. I even co-signed on a car for him. Like, he made it seem like, okay, both of us gonna be driving it, but that's like after probably we got evicted from the first apartment we had, because he wasn't helping me pay no bills. He wouldn't get a job. He just knew I was gonna do everything. So that was like around the time COVID hit too. So ended up getting behind on like the bills, Like, honestly, yeah. Like, he would ask me to buy him this and that. I would, like a dummy. Like, and he was still like, you know, taking my money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just weird. But, yeah, so I ended up keeping this job for years. And, so I was the one who was making, like, stable, good money, had a good job. I became an entrepreneur after we got into the first apartment, and I started a business. So I was out here hustling the legal way. I was selling clothes, shades, lashes. Was I doing hair? I don't think I was doing hair yet. But yeah, and I had ended up starting a YouTube channel. So if you go back to like my first few videos, you will see like how, you know what I'm saying, you could go back and see like me kind of evolve. Yeah, so he wasn't paying no bills. He was making it seem like he would be flexing with everything that I did. Like, oh, I got this apartment. Whole time I'm paying the bills. I'm buying this and that, and it's all me, baby. And he would be so mad. He would hit me when I would be like, "You not doing nothing." Like, and I ended up learning that it really be like these men's childhood traumas. Like, a lot of time they mamas have abandoned them. They mamas ain't up to par, you know what I'm saying? They mamas raised them to be dependent on women. They daddies ain't active in their life 9 times out of 10, you know what I'm saying? Or they father have passed away early, or whatever the case is. But and then it be sexual abuse. Like, a lot of these men have went through sexual abuse, and it just be a lot of factors. And basically he would guilt trip me. He would guilt trip me and make me feel bad. Like, after everything I done for you, and then if it wouldn't be that, it would be, oh, but everybody have done bad things to me. Like, trying to play a victim to life. Like, oh, I always got the short end of the stick, and this happened to me, and this happened to me, and I didn't have this, and this and that, and you just gonna give up on me after everything I've done for you. Stuff like that. So it would just be like a whole mind game. Like, every time I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'll leave, and he would either like try to really hurt me, he would hold me hostage, he would threaten me, he would, you know, bring out his gun, and he would steal my car, everything. Because I done had several different cars, y'all. But yeah, so and I remember he used to steal my car and go to different cities and leave me just assed out. Like, it would even be to the point where I would be going to work, he would be dropping me off in my car at my job, going to work, and what you doing all day? Sitting around getting drunk with your friends, ain't doing shit, ain't getting no job, ain't worried about getting no job, ain't making no money. You just like, oh, Cherry's at work. You'll be riding your friends around, smoking cigarettes in my car. Like, I don't even like cigarettes, y'all. I hate the smell of cigarettes. I don't like none of that. And yeah, that's just period. But yeah, you would just be violating my stuff. You really you would be acting like that's yours. Like, say if I want to go somewhere, you would basically drag me out my own car and ride off of my stuff, or you would really threaten me and hit me and hurt me for my own stuff that I paid for, that is mine, that is in my name. And even when it came to the apartment, it wasn't no kicking him out in his eyes. Like, he would, it was just very hard and difficult, y'all. So got evicted out that place, ended up getting another house. We rented out the house, so that was like the second place we had got. And I don't know, I just felt like it would get better, I guess. Who knows? Stupid, foolish. So got another house. I ended up buying us a dog, that pocket bully that's on my channel. Paid my money for it, cause in that first apartment I had a miscarriage. I had got pregnant, had a miscarriage. He was still abusive, still toxic, still talking that shit and all that good stuff. And here's another thing. Here's a little inserter. These men who be abusive, they family members, they mothers, they sisters, they cousins, they gonna always try to pin it on the woman. well, why you provoking him? Why'd you raise your son like that? Why ain't you correct your son? Why'd your son turn out like this? And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I've gotten mouthy with his mother. I've cursed his mama out because he would be trying to like this is the thing he would do. He would record me while I'm at an erratic state, like say this nigga just beat my ass and now I'm like nothing up, I'm mad, I'm hurt, I'm just I'm in a very emotional, like I'm out of this world emotional state. Or he playing with my, like he playing mental game with me, like his mom, he'll call his mama or record me and be like, look at you, look, and basically provoke me and record me while I'm at a vulnerable, emotional, erratic state, so that he could like blackmail me and like show it to people and be like, oh, look at what Charity, look at how Charity acting, and like basically he's out here painting a picture like I'm crazy. Or you'll call your friend and say, oh, Charity acting crazy, come get me. Oh, Charity acting up, just so you can have like, I guess like somebody to say that I was the one who was, you know, the aggressor in the situation. So that, because I would be trying to call the police and then he would like record so you have something to show the police, so that I would be the one to go to jail. So yeah, and to show his people that I was the one, like made it seem like I was the one who was out of my mind and wrong, you know what I'm saying? So then we'll be arguing sometimes and he'll call his mama and talking junk about me, and his mom would just be like instigating, and I ended up cursing her out one day. I remember that. I ended up cursing her out because I'm like, you don't even know what's going on, but you over here trying to make it seem like I'm the issue. Whole time your son put his hands on me, he be taking my stuff, he be wilding out, he ain't even got no job. I could go so much deeper into that, but I'm gonna stop right there. I had ended up buying us a pocket bully. We bought it through his cousin because his cousin is a breeder and all that good stuff. And so basically his cousin gave him the paperwork and the information how to register the dog legally, you know what I'm saying? And he ended up like registering it in just his name behind my back. And yeah, so on papers it looked like he owned the dog, but the whole time I'm the one who paid for it and all that good stuff. Bought him the food, whatever he needed, all that good stuff. And yeah, so whenever that vlog was put out where we got the pocket bully, and we had went to like Walmart and all that good stuff, I paid for it, paid for the dog, all that good stuff. He finessed me, and then guess what ended up happening after we broke up? The dog got murdered. The dog got killed, which is gonna be a whole nother story, but yeah. And he was my support dog. I just told y'all, or I already told y'all that I had a miscarriage, was going through all that abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, mental illness, all that good stuff. So Gio was like my support dog, and he just really, he was there for me. Like I ain't have nobody else, and that dog, that puppy, he was like my child, literally. And I was so heartbroken whenever I found out that he was dead. And I don't even think he told me, like, I don't know how I found out, but yeah, somehow I ended up finding out after the fact, like a little while after the fact, that he got hit with like some type of vehicle. So yeah, how I got out of that relationship. Got evicted from the last house we had got, and yeah, due to damages, because it was due to the damages. Like the damages inside that house was so bad because he would be like busting through the door, he would be like messing, like he broke windows, blinds, doors, like damn near all the doors was broken because I would be trying to run away from him, and then he would just bust through all the doors, and it was like holes in the doors and all that good stuff. Yeah, got black eyes. He done broke my phone. Like he knew I was doing the YouTube thing, that was really my passion, so he would like take my camera whenever he was mad and try to like break it, and same with my laptop. It was just overall, it was so toxic. And I remember like we was living in Macon, Georgia, Okay, and that place is, it be a whole lot going on. Okay, if you know, you know, and if you don't, just Google Macon, Georgia, and yeah. Okay, so we was living in the middle of the hood, but we had like a nice house on the top of the hood. But it'll be like a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of sirens, a lot of police action, a lot of like shootings and stuff like that. But I remember one night, which this happened several times, but the night I'm thinking of is just the night something went down, and he was shooting at me with his gun. And I swear, I kid you not, I think I had went out with like a homegirl, like one of my homegirls, and he was mad about it, which is another thing that abusers do. They be mad when you have friends. They be mad when you go out and try to enjoy yourself and all that good stuff. Like, he would be out all type of hours and just completely disrespectful. He would be, you know, cheating, texting other girls. I would be catching him like sending nudes, saying stuff like trying to get some booty, which in hindsight, this man was in my car while I was at work, okay? And I'll be surprised if he was not clapping somebody's cheeks, okay? I caught him, like, y'all seen the My Ex on the DL video, and if you haven't, go back and watch that. But yeah, that man was on some other shit. And yeah, so I also feel like that's another reason why he was like so abusive and mean to me, because he couldn't really be who he really is, you know, in his identity. You know what I'm saying? But go back and watch that video if y'all want to know like the deets on that, because that's a whole nother story in itself. But yeah, so after I finally got out of the situation because we got evicted, I remember the last time we had seen each other, like his mama came got him or something like that, and my mama had ended up coming to get me because the car, both of our cars was messed up, out of commission, and it was just it wasn't good. And he even he even bust like my windows, kicked like dents in my car. I done paid for this car cash, and he like, we both vandalized each other's cars because yeah, okay, I ain't even gonna hold you, it was crazy and toxic, okay? But yeah, what else happened? Took Gio from me, end up parting ways, and then like shortly after he went wherever he went and I went where I went. I got a dream on my birthday of last year, and he was cheating right in my face. Like, God will show you, okay? He showed me a dream, and basically God told me to like hack his stuff. So I hacked in his Instagram, his email, his Facebook, anything I could think of, all his social media accounts, and blot out. On the night of my birthday, he was with a whole nother girl, and there's no telling what they were doing, but he couldn't find a way to be with me, but he found a way to be with some other girl, and you was talking to other girls, and it was just a whole bunch of like on to the next, okay? So, and the whole time he like kicking it like we're still together or whatever, and you know, that was that. But I'm so glad that, you know, divine intervention happened. I'm glad, like, it's not a good thing to be getting evicted, but God knew that that would be the only way that I would have left that situation. So yeah, I'm ultimately grateful. And even my mama was telling me, like, she would write on her board. She had a board she would write on every day for 2 years. Charity will come home, Charity will come home. Basically manifested me to get out of that toxic relationship and come back home. And I'm so grateful for that, because it took a lot of prayer warriors, okay? And I was in such a bad situation, like in the beginning of whenever we had got together, like probably the first year of me and that boy being together. my dad had took me to like lunch, and my mama told me like it broke his heart so much. Like he was boo crying. She never seen him cry like that, even when his grandmother died. Like he cried so bad, and yeah, so that hurt my feelings, of course, because like I was just telling him what I was going through. Like I don't eat every day. We're broke, you know what I'm saying? And he's mean to me and abusive, and it was just a really, really rough situation, and nobody would want to see their child in a situation like that. Like at the time, I was like upset with my parents because I was like, why are you guys not being here for me? But at some point in time, your loved ones will get tired of seeing you go through that and choosing to continue to go through that. And it took, right now, like it took a while for me to process everything, you know what I'm saying? And I completely understand, because that could hurt anybody. Like just to, I imagine seeing my loved one, like I would never want neither one of my sisters or nobody I love to go through something like that, and it would hurt my feelings too, and I'll be ready to go to jail too. You know what I'm saying? But of course, whoever is in that situation, being abused or in that toxic relationship, it's so difficult to leave, because it's like I told you guys, it's like a drug, and it really take a lot. It take for that person to be fed up, but a lot of times it take a divine intervention to finally get pulled away. Because even whenever I remember I had went out, we had a Thanksgiving, a Friendsgiving. Y'all can go back and see that video too. So on Friendsgiving, I was with my friends. It's all females, but he was being all insecure and stuff because I was out having fun with my girls. And he even came and, what is it called? He crashed the party, and he basically dragged me down the stairs. And one of my old friends, we not even friends anymore, because I was, you know, in that situation, and she just was like, I can't, you know what I'm saying, I love you too much to see you like that. So we ended up not being friends anymore because I chose to stay in an abusive relationship. And yeah, so she tried to intervene, and of course I ended up leaving with them. Like everybody in the party came outside and was like, you need to stop, you need to let her go, you're doing too much, she's here with a bunch of girls and you over here doing the most and whatever. And the crazy part about it, he had a son at the time. He had a young son, about 2-3 years old. I met this boy when he was like turning 1, and I was in his life, you know, for the time we was together. And he would be doing this stuff in front of his son, and I would just be like, you really don't care. Like, you are putting your own child into like a situation like that, and to be witnessing stuff like that. And it's like he already go through a lot on his other side, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's just, I ain't even gonna speak on that, because that's just like a whole movie in itself, just with the son. But yeah, and that's really pretty much all I gotta say about, I mean, a lot more stuff happened, and I could like go into small stories. I'll probably do an advice video for like young girls or women who are, you know, not in the best situation, because I definitely feel like this is a part of my purpose. Like God got me through it so that I could share my testimony and be like somebody that could attest to that, you know what I'm saying, and be like an inspiration. Like, yes, you can leave, and it do get better after you leave that situation, because it was really like a 180. Like people say 360, but 360 is like coming right back to the same spot. A 180 is like completely different, like night and day. So my life did a complete 180 after I finally left that situation. I was able to gain my confidence back over time, and you know, really figure out who I am, what I like to do. Just he confined me so much and prevented me from doing a lot of things that I wanted to do. And he would be so mad and abusive whenever, you know, I would shine my light you know what I'm saying, and really walk in my light. And he would be insecure about it and jealous, so he would hurt me. But I was finally able to spread my wings and grow. And boy, did I grow. Like, I went viral several times in several different ways. My business grew, my name grew. People started to like really get to know me for who I am, and like, you know, for whatever I wanted them to know me as. Like, I was so insecure, and like a lot was taken away from me, like how I felt towards myself. Like a lot of ways I felt toward myself, it wasn't good because of like what he was putting in my head. So it was a lot of like undoing the brainwashing and the manipulation and the grooming, learning who I am at 22 years old, because that's whenever I finally left the situation. I had just turned 22. And just rewriting my story and learning, okay, why did I go that? How do I prevent this from ever happening again? How can I make better choices going forward? So I was able to basically recreate my identity and grow, and, you know, build a love for myself and get really connected to God, and had a lot of understanding on the situation. Like now that the outside influences are gone, you know what I'm saying? And then shortly after me being single for a little while, I got pregnant with my first baby that I'm currently carrying now. And I'm very happy. Like, this journey, it hasn't been an easy one, but I have so much I want to tell my daughter, and, you know, guide my daughter to, you know, and I mean through, like, I just never, and I always prayed, may all the karmic debts, generational curses stop with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never want my baby to go through anything close to what I've been through. And I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make sure that don't happen on my watch. See you later, guys. Deuces.